my one son, Vincent, who is they're just this beautiful, quiet, thoughtful humanitarian. He kind of just went in his own world. And he was the one that was like, it was like he wasn't even there. It was just like a shell. But my son, Victor, became like an exposed nerve. I mean, like you would get ice out of the ice machine and it was like you're ripping his limbs out. He felt like he was so sound sensitive, touch sensitive, like everything. The only thing that comforted him was us holding him. They actually were diagnosed with mercury-induced autism. I would do a lot of TV interviews. A lot of people would call me, ironically, because I have a confirmed reaction for my boys. A lot of like TV things would call me. I've been on CNN, the Today Show, like all these news outlets, right? One of my organizations had a Facebook page, and I was sitting there checking all the messages that people were writing to us for Autism Awareness Month. And somebody said, "Hey, did you see this?" And they posted it on my group, and it was a CNN article with this gentleman. His name was Alex, and CNN was doing an interview with a letterboard, and it said, "Keep speaking to us. We are in here. Alex has a message for the world." And he shared this message with everybody, and you could see it live. And he said, "Don't stop talking to us. We're in here." And so the next day, I called, and come to find out that was an S2C practitioner. And so it was a local place to me. They were S2C practitioners. And I said, I know my son's trapped. Like the only thing I can get out of him is I want juice. I mean, we had a $10,000 Dynabox. I should add that my son was considered proficient in all augmentative communication. He could push, I have to go to the bathroom, I have a headache. Although I had a headache became the answer to any pain in his body. It was like, I couldn't have a conversation with him. Didn't matter what icon he could push. He could not tell me he wanted to have a conversation with his sister. That was what I needed in life for him to be able to be okay. And so when I called this guy, I said, "Can I come in?" And I went in literally the next week and my whole world changed. And so that's where my son started. I mean, he was just amazing. The stuff that was coming out of him, I think I cried at every single session. And that's when I was like, I have to tell some friends about this because this is insane. When all of this was happening, over the years, I'd become really good friends with JB Handley. So I sent him a text and I'm like, "Hey, I got to talk to you. You got a minute?" And he was like, "What's going on? I'm at a game." And I was like, "Look at this stuff. It's insane." And he was like, literally, "What the hell are you talking about?" I mean, he was literally like WTFing me on the phone.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm like, "No, Vincent's saying all this. I have to tell you about this modality." And I used him as like a teaser to get him to call me to be like, he's like, "This is your son, Vincent." I'm like, "This is my son, Vincent. And I'm pretty sure it's your son too." And he was like, "I got to call you." So it was like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Listen, just found a new modality. It's incredible. You can replicate it. You need to do it." And he almost, this is so funny. So he went home, he called me, sent me a video of his son. I literally start crying and I'm like, he's going to totally do it. I'm like, he's totally going to do it. He's just like Vincent. He's exactly like my son. He sent me a video to say, "Oh my gosh,
Like
yes."
you don't understand how bad it
Yep.
is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I sent him a video back of
Yeah.
Vincent. And I said, "And this is what Vincent looks like when he's not spelling."
Right.
He was like, "Okay." So he went on a plane and he went to prove me wrong. And instead he proved me right. And so
Wait, where did he go when he got on the plane and went?
he went to S2C to see Elizabeth Bossler, and he went to prove me wrong, but he realized, "Oh my gosh, this is they are in there." And it was funny because he was like, "Oh my gosh, I think we're onto something here." I'm like, keep going, just keep going." And so he wrote a book about his success. And then the book, so many people were like, it's it's just Jamie and it's just Vincent. It's only the two of them. They're rare. And then he was like, it's not just them." So then he made a movie.